Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dalar's Tactics. In this video, I don't know why I said that weird. In this video, we're going to talk about the Podarge dungeon. Why am I calling it that? Because it says Podarge. Oh, sorry, Podarge. Podarge. What a stupid name. We're going to talk about how to beat the Podarge dungeon. So strap in. Get a drink because this one might run a little bit long. This is the new dungeon that was added at the most recent patch in February. If you're watching this in the future, have fun. This is the currently the hardest dungeon in the game, which requires a unit at the time that I'm recording this that is on the summoning banner right now. Is she needed? No, she's not needed. So we're gonna try to walk you through this dungeon, show you how to get her done. Because it does have some pretty nice new sets. This gear was introduced at the time with this dungeon. Currently, before this, the hardest dungeon in the game was probably Tarrasque. Yes, I know. Tarrasque was the hardest one in the game. He's a mean kitty. But now, we got the Harpy from Hell. And I'm clicking on the wrong buttons. Right, I'm off to a great start. Great start. So, let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about the gear sets. These are the gear sets you get in this dungeon. Prevention. Okay. Prevention is a vigor control set. So think a lot, right? Because a lot is all about vigor control on both sides of the battlefield. When hit, 100% chance to decrease the attacker's vigor by 2. I think that's good on a lot. I can't really think of another unit on the top of my head that would be ideal for. I could think of interesting things like, say, Florentius, maybe, because he's got some vigor control, but he's also an attacker. Even though he's not an attacker, I think he's a controller that attacks. You got to build him with crit rate and stuff. He's a weird unit. Don't worry about him. So Lot. Prevention set, probably going to be best in slot for Lot. Now, the Safeguard set and the Ascension set, I think, are meant for the new hero that was released with this dungeon, that being Charlotte. Safeguard, it's more of a tankier set. But you notice, tanks are usually built with HP and defense. This one gives you a big old shield, but it's based on your attack. Now, Charlotte, who was made for this dungeon, her whole kit revolves on just as much attack percentage as possible. So I do believe that you probably want to run the Ascension set, which we'll talk about in a minute, which is a 4-piece set, and then you want to run the Safeguard set with Charlotte. There are some other units that this might be really, really helpful with. So I could also see you running an Anya in this Ascension and Safeguard set. Since it is based on attack, I think initially, I had thought that Safeguard was for tanks. Now I think it is actually for attackers. It's going to allow them to be on the battlefield longer. Now, the issue is that on a normal attacker, you're going to be running either a damage set or a crit rate set. And it's difficult without those to hit those benchmarks. A hero like Charlotte that does not crit can benefit from this set. So I almost think right now, until we get more units in game, there may be some more units in game at the time that you're watching this video, but I think for right now, Safeguard is for Charlotte. What does it do? Yeah, it at the start of battle for 2 turns does not stack. You can't stack your shields. You're going to get a big old HP shield or an attack shield. It's not an HP shield. Guinevere is an HP shield. You're going to get a big old shield for 2 turns, that's a 250% of your attack. Okay? So think Charlotte. Now, the Ascension set, well, this one's really, really mean. The typical 4-piece attack set gives you an attack increase of 30%, which is nice. This one is a big old whopping 50. So you're getting almost double. Not quite double. I think it's like, 1 or 75%? 75%? You're getting about 70. No, it's actually 66%. 66% more of an attack buff running this Ascension set versus an attack set. But it comes at a cost. When using a skill, inflict damage on self equal to 10% of max HP. Now, Charlotte, on her S3, sacrifices 50% health. Rosie also sacrifices health. And Charlotte sacrifices 30% on her S2, meaning she's going to knock off over half of her health bar if she uses S3 with one of these bad boys on it. Meaning you're going to have a good healer to keep her up. Meaning you're probably going to want that Safeguard set. Why? It's going to keep her alive a little longer, give your healers a chance to heal her up. And now, even though she does want to die to trigger some buffs, I think you'll probably want that Ascension set on her. So those are these. This is the only dungeon you can get these pieces. This is the only dungeon that you can get the materials to craft these pieces. As you see right here, we're looking at stage 9. Yes, I have not completed it. I am not that big of a whale. This is the materials needed to craft 5 and 6 star gear of those 3 sets. If you farm this one, you're going to get this material. You can farm the lower sets, and you can also alchemize. I don't think that's a word. You can alchemize these ones to the higher set. So you can farm 8. In the meantime, 8 is going to give you, let me move my speaker, 4 to 5 star gear. You need to be doing stage 9 and 10 for 6 star gear. But if you farm 8, you can get 5 star gear, and you can get the materials. You can level up the materials to craft 5 and 6 star gear. So I'm going to show you some teams that can beat these stages. Now, this dungeon, let's talk about this dungeon. Let's talk about the mechanics, okay? Let's talk about this dungeon. So, Porridge. So, Porridge fights alongside the Harpies. This is the Forbidden Dungeon level 100. You can see where, right here, they want you to run AoE heroes and dot heroes. Why? Because the units in this battle, basically, they can be crit, but they can't be. They're going to have a whole lot of crit resistance on them, which is going to make your crit damage dealers ineffective. So you're going to want in units that can bring in dots, because dots are going to chunk off percentages of health regardless on the enemies, and you're gonna need the AoE, because that's the only way you can really kill the boss, is by AoEing all the adds, because they share health, right? So you can see right here, let's read it. She is resistant to critical strikes. There you go. So you should not expect to deal much damage using ordinary means, aka Bedivere, aka Iwaret. However, Porridge takes damage proportional to her max HP whenever a nearby harpy is killed, and there are 4 of them. So heroes with AoE attacks are especially effective. Harpies are also weak against sustained damage, so heroes that can inflict dots are also effective. At higher difficulty levels, she's going to deal additional damage against frost heroes. So bye Bedivere. Who else does frost? Cormac. Cormac is an AoE unit. You can use him at the lower levels. You can't use him at higher levels. So who do they recommend right now? I don't know why they don't have the new hero in here, but she is ideal. But these are your AoE daughters. Gawain. So if you have Gawain Fire, he comes in wind. Gawain Fire. Lancelot, he's a daughter. And then Rosie's a daughter. Anguish is a daughter. And we know that Isolde is a healer / daughter. So that's the TLDR didn't read mechanics. Now, if we want to talk about some harder mechanics, let's look at Wave Deuce. Wave Deuce. Wave Deuce. Okay. So, let's just check out. This is her skill 1. 100% chance to gain 2 stacks of Burnt Offering. What is that? I can't click on it. Oh, it's right here. Effect resistance. Right? So she's going to be stacked right up with this a whole bunch of effect resistance. So you cannot land debuffs on her. Your Morgan, remember, you can't strip turn meter, because turn meter is considered a negative status effect, or removing turn meter is a negative status effect. And she's going to get hit accuracy up. She's going to get evasion rate up. And she has attack gauge disruption. So I do believe skills cannot increase this character's attack gauge. But I do believe there is something in here where they all gain attack gauge. Or no, they don't. You can definitely reduce the attack gauge on the adds, but I don't think you do anything about her. Skill 2. What does she get? Revive dead targets with a certain amount of HP. So she's going to be constantly reviving those adds, right? So that's the whole point of the game. Kill the adds, kill the adds, kill the adds, kill the adds. When an ally dies, did we talk about the rest of this? If she is in glide stance, there's a 100% independent chance to grant each ally attack speed increase for 2 turns. So she's going to be speeding up her adds. If she is in magic stance, then she's going to inflict attack gauge disruption on us, her enemy, for 2 turns. Meaning we cannot manipulate our own attack gauges, a.k.a. Sergius. A lot of people are going to try to be running Sergius in here. Well, for half the battle, he's going to be completely ineffective. Completely ineffective. He will not help at all. He will hinder your team. At lower levels, cool. You can get away with it maybe. Higher levels, no. So let's just put Sergius out of your mind. Remember, Frost Cormac, put him out of your mind at higher levels. They are pigeonholing who you can bring into this to beat this dungeon. When an ally dies, aka her harpy, she's going to revive them, 100% health, 100% independent chance to grant each fallen ally crit strike defense increase 3. That's 80% increased. Well, so there's an 80% less chance for you to land a crit strike, and 100% independent chance to grant each ally crit strike resistance 3 for 2 turns. So basically that's a negative 180% crit strike. So cannot crit. So no critters. If she's in glide stance, leave glide stance, enters. This is her stance. Okay, that felt really nice. This is her stance. Yeah, you should be familiar with stance dancing if you ever played a warrior in early WoW. Okay, or paladins too, I guess. At the start of battle, she gets abnormal status immunity for the rest of the battle. Can't do bad things to her. 100% chance to gain dot immunity for the rest of the battle. So you can't dot her, you can dot her adds. 100% chance to gain attack gauge decrease immunity for the rest of the battle. There it is. I knew I saw it in here somewhere. You cannot manipulate her attack gauge, but you can manipulate the other harpy's attack gauge. 100% chance to gain damage taken decrease for the rest of the battle, right? So you can't nuke her either. They're really pigeonholing how this works. That's 80% less damage taken. You can't just come in here and nuke her. Nope, you're going to have to kill off her buddies. And then magic stance for the rest of the battle. She's going to stance though, right? Start a battle, then she's going to flip the other stance. 100% independent chance to grant each ally crit strike defense increase 3. Right? She did that here. Crit strike defense increase 3. Crit strike resistance. So this is when an ally dies. So this is they're going to start with this as well. And then her skill 2, or her passive 2, is going to ensure that it's available when they revive as well. So crit strike or crit damage immunity, all that stuff. Abnormal silence immunity, dot immunity, attack gauge decrease immunity, and all the effect accuracy. That's just her passives. Her passives kind of dictate how this fight's going to go. She's got all these depletion. She's going to affect your vigor, which is why you want to run Charlotte, because Charlotte doesn't use vigor. She's going to give buff disruption, so you can't really load up on crit damage. She's mean. She's going to silence you a lot. That's annoying. She's got this ability, 100% chance to gain an attack speed increase. She's going to remove all dots on each ally except herself, but you can't put dots on her, so it doesn't matter. And then she's going to give each ally this shared damage, aka Bodwin, for 2 turns, meaning you're going to hit them. You're going to hit everybody anyway. You're going to be AoEing. So, and then crit damage decrease, crit rate, strike decrease on each enemy for 2 turns. So it's a whole bunch of bad stuff. But the TLDR is you want to bring in AoEers and daughters and people that can't crit. But you can bring in people that give you attack increase up, right? Attack increase up, your friend. You can't put defense down on her because she's got immunities. But you can do all the bad stuff to her friends. Wow, that's a mouthful. Now let's see this in action. So, first of all, I'm just going to jump straight to here. This is the team I'm currently using to farm 8. Now, it does have Nika. So let's do this. Let's go up to stage 4. Let's show you a team to use on stage 4. Now, I am going to include Lancelot. I know he's not given to you free to play, but let's try to remove him. Let's remove her. Let's try to find you a free to play team to use. Now, what are the equivalents of the people we just removed? Okay, well, you're going to need a healer, right? Not her, though. Does Cormac have a lead we can use? No. So the leads we can use are Again, I want to use free-to-play people. So let's not include them. Let's do this. Let's run Morgan lead, because you have Morgan. You want to run fire because the boss is wind. All of the enemies in this are wind. Let's move her to a vigor set. You can go check how I have each hero geared on my spreadsheet, linked in the description. Now let's build a free-to-play team around this. So, Cormac. Remember, though, at higher levels, ice will be ineffective. And also remember that wind, so all the enemies in this dungeon, will do increased damage to frost heroes. But Cormac is kind of pigeonholed into being frost. Now, we want a daughter. So we got the AoEer. Now we want a daughter. Daughter. Not a daughter. 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 A daughter. I hate myself. So, who's better? Well, Rosie's better. Plus, she's going to be in fire. Let's use Rosie. Anguish. Sorry, bud. You could run Anguish in here as well, but he's just not as good. Right? Plus, if you got Rosie up to C8, she's going to do Hook of Death. She's going to do multi-dot. Whereas Anguish is more of a single-type daughter. And then we want a fire. Yes, let's bring in fire. Let's bring in fire, Turin, because we're going to need a healer, right? You're going to want an AoE healer. You are going to want an AoE healer. You are going to want an AoE healer. And they have to be in wind or fire. So wind, let's just put Turin in wind because that's where she comes in. But I think fire would be better. Let's go fire. I'm going to put fire because, you'll get that along the way, right? Look for it. You need it. So this team, is it free to play? Well, yes, all these heroes are technically free to play. You get Turin day one. You get Morgan day one. These two you're going to get, right? Because you're going to be pulling rares. They're easy to pull. But you do need their other relics. You need Rosie's fire, Cormac's frost. All right. Is this going to work? I think so. And there's no leaderships in here that are going to work. Free to play. Except probably Morgan. You could run Anguish in here, but I think Anguish is also a PvP lead only. So let's try this out. So what are we bringing in? We're bringing in daughters, healers. We can manipulate the attack gauge. Now let's set this up. Since we can manipulate the attack gauge of the enemy, the enemy adds, not the boss. You want to set your Morgan as C or skill 2 and then 1. You want your Cormac as S3, S1. You want Rosie S3, S1. And you want your Turin S2, S1. Let's throw her on auto. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. And she's dead. Keep in mind, this is stage 4. I want to first offer you a free-to-play friendly team just to get you started. Just to get your feet wet in this dungeon. Because the difficulty is going to ramp up pretty quick. Now, remember, Cormac's perfect for this at lower levels because he has 5 units to hit, meaning his damage is going to be up there. So now we have attack gauge disruption. I'm going to pause it right now, and I want to show you the stuff that's going on here. So you see, she's going to go into enrage in 19 turns. You have 20 turns to finish her off. Crit resistance, crit strike defense up, damage taken down. Burnt offering. What are those? That's effect resistance. Attack gauge, decrease immunity. Dot immunity, abnormal status immunity. So, this bitch does not like taking direct damage. She does not like being crit. She will not take dots. You have to kill her by killing her friends. Her friends don't have as much stuff as she does. Just a lot of crit resistance, right? And a little bit of defense up. So crit resistance. So again, you don't really want to be bringing in critters. And remember too that her harpies, they don't like dots. So they can't be crit. They can be, but they don't like to be. You can reduce their attack gauge. And you want to dot them. So shouldn't be attacking the boss. Okay, don't attack the boss. Attack the ads. So we're just going to target the ads. Boom, boom. Cool. See the damage go off the main boss when we killed those ads? Yeah. So knock, knock, knock. There we got some dots. Boom. Is Rosie really effective here? when she does the Hook of Death, yes, she can do it here. Now, here we go. AoE dots. We like AoE dots. But I think they already had to have dots on them to get dots. So, is Rosie the good one here? Probably not. Boom, boom. See, they're all dead. We took off about 20% of the boss's HP pool. There you go. More dots. Let's start putting dots over on this one over here. There we go. We got some dots rolling. Now let's target this one. So you can kind of bounce around all these units with your daughters. Remember, Cormac's not really going to do a whole lot of damage to the boss himself. But Cormac can do... Yeah. So Cormac's also... He's going to crit a lot. So you're going to be missing out on that crit damage on the ads. But at this point, we're also kind of brute forcing through them. Boom, boom. You see, no crits really went out on this team. Boom, boom. But we do got the dots going. We got the dots. Alright, so right there, what she did, her little hover, she did her little hovercraft ability, she cleansed all the dots off the team. She is going to do that. And look at my team. My team is just loaded with bad things. There's crit rate down. Crit strike damage down. Attack gauge disruption. There is all sorts of bad stuff on your team. Bad stuff. Alright, here we go. Boom, boom. And I think we just have to kill that one, and we're done. So, this is stage 4. I'm just giving you some guidelines on a team you can use. What you could also do, if you don't, since we can kind of muscle through this, who's a good, you could use K. You could use K. K would work. Why? Because she's got a nice AoE. That would work. Who else has got a nice AoE? No, not really. That's about it. So that's kind of what you can do. That'll give you a good idea of what you can do with the lower stages. Now, I want to show you my team that I'm running up top here. Now, let's hope I get this right. I do like running him for the speed or attack increase. Right? Attack increase. Now, we're going to run Morgan, fire. We're going to run her, and we are going to run Nika. Now, let's show you the build real quick. Vigor accuracy, right? Just built to land dots. Vigor accuracy. Fairly fast, too. Vigor and crit rate, even though, remember, you're not going to be critting a whole lot. This is attack speed. This is attack speed. So she's built as a support. She's going to be giving some attack gauge increase on her S2. But keep in mind, at one point in the battle, you are going to be afflicted with attack gauge disruption, and you're not going to be able to do that. But the reason why I like Clarison here is that she is going to get buffed by Nika over here. So why? Independent chance to grant each ally attack increase 2 for 1 turn. And then Serpent's Favor attack speed increase and hit accuracy. So she is going to be buffing these. Now, if you have an Iwaret, you could run a Flame Iwaret. Remember, Iwaret comes in ice. You don't want to bring an ice unit in here. And then I currently have her in a speed set. My Nika is not at a point where she's going to gain the full benefit of a speed set. So you could run her at low chivalries like this in a vigor set. I like faster heals, though, over vigor generation. I tried her in a vigor set. It didn't work as well. This is also a fairly fast, because it's a speed set. I like her going fast more often. And I do believe it's attack speed ring, attack. I think I actually have her in recovery orb. And then HP percentage on these two. So that's kind of the team for 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do that. Since you don't really want to attack the boss, because remember the boss is like resistant to damage. You can't dot her. You can't do anything. We're not going to do this. But if you were going to run multiple of these, go like this. Go like that. Help yourself out. So let's just run one battle. And let's hope it doesn't fail on me. Because then I'll be embarrassed. So why am I running Lance lead over Nika lead? Nika is nice because of the HP bump. Because you will be taking a lot of hits. I prefer me. You can run Nika instead. I prefer the attack increase lead from Lance. Was Lance not a speed lead? Did they change Lance's lead? So here we go. You see Clarison is still attacking the boss. So let's just go like this. Remember, these guys don't like dots. Now, pause. So look at all this bad stuff that Lancelot just put on them. Damage taken. Up. Lots. And then all these burns. And lightning strike. These are a dot. And then this damage taken is nice, because Clarison's going to come in behind that and land some damage. She's not going to be able to crit a whole lot, but she's going to land some damage. So right here, watch. She actually did crit. If you go back and rewind this, she did crit on all of these units. Lancelot just crit on all these units. Even through the crit rate reduction in their buffs that they have. So right now, Clarison is silenced, so she will not be critting, unfortunately. So she's going to do her S1. But what's going on here is Morgan is keeping their attack gauge down in fire. Clarison's doing straight attack damage, AoE attack damage. And Lancelot's doing dot damage. There will come a point where it's going to get really hairy here, though. Where we could die. And that's going to be when we kind of run out of vigor. Because we're not going to be landing any dots. The boss is going to take the dots off everybody. And right now, pause. So, that hit right there. This is a mechanic. So that hit right there when she's charging. If you kill a harpy, one of her adds, while she's doing that charge attack, that hit doesn't hit as hard. Now, that was the AoE. So I think I'm getting this a little bit wrong. She's going to have a single target attack that could kill someone outright. When she's doing that attack, you have to kill the ads. So you want to focus target an ad down, because otherwise she's just going to kill your unit. Whereas the damage is going to be split if you can kill an ad. So let's just focus target. Let's start picking the targets that have the lowest health. Right? We're still going to be AoEing. But there, now that one's dead. Let's move over to this one over here. So we have all that negative vigor buffs on us. That vigor disruption. We got a lot of bad stuff on us. Boom, dead. Look at the boss with all those blue buffs. Boom, that's nice. Let's move over to this one, because that one just died. Alright. And unfortunately my Clarison is silenced. You can run this on auto. I should go hands off the wheel here and just run this on auto, because the majority of you want to run this on auto. So right there, she just cleansed her team. No more dots. Now we got to start over again from square one. Big old heal. That's good. If you don't have Nika, I'm sorry. If you have Vivian, she's actually the one you're going to want to run in this dungeon. So there she go. She's under 50%. And that was in 8 turns. So we are on track, because she's going to enrage in 12 turns. Boom. Look at us. We got lots of bad stuff. Everybody is silenced, except for Nika and Morgan, which is nice, but that's kind of RNG. So we're still healing. Morgan is still doing AoE turn meter disruption. Clarison there, she's going to come in behind and whack in their face. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Good old Lancelot, man. Hitting those dots. So you see, though, look at Lancelot's. He's got his health down there. He's got that defense down on him, so he's taking more damage. But Nika's a pretty damn good healer. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Let's target this low one over here. Alright, so she's got a lot of dots. Let's just leave her to be killed. More damage taken off the boss. Now we're picking on old righty over here. Okay, so pause. Okay, see this attack she's doing right now? I think, is this the big one? Is this the big boom? Is this the big boom? So we got a charge attack. We can interrupt it by abnormal status, but she's got abnormal status immunity. So can we? No. What is the charge attack? I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. Boom. So you see we did kill a couple adds. So if this is the big attack, the damage is going to be reduced. Let's see what she does. It is. See? Boom. That was a single target attack. If we had not killed some adds during that charge phase, Clarison would be dead. And I think we're golden here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are absolutely golden. We just got to kill a few more, and she is gone. And let's target that one. She's dead. All right. Stage 8. Okay. Unfortunately, this team does not work in stage 9. I've gotten to about 40% health, but it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it. Stage 9 and 10, those are the big bad boys. Those are the ones that are for all the marbles. That's the 6-star gear. That's the red mats. These are the ones you want. Now, since I don't have a team that can beat that, I am going to show you a team that can beat that. All right. So here you go. Over to my spreadsheet, which is linked in the description. These are the screenshots of 2 team comps that I've seen that can beat stage 10. Now, this one over here is the Steed's Favor comp. You see, it is Charlotte lead. That is an attack and an HP lead. We got Vivian. She's a dot healer. You want her. Morgan Storm. That is a Storm Morgan. You can just see the relic underneath. Why? Because you want all that defense down to kill the adds faster. Right? And then we got Lancelot Fire. So it'd be Charlotte Fire. This is a fire. You can see it underneath because fire beats wind. Vivian Fire, Lance Fire, Morgan Wind can beat stage 10. Now, if you don't have any of them, there are options. But are these easier options for you to get? No. Nika Fire, she comes in fire. That's fine if you have Nika. Iwaret, you see he's the MVP of this team, whereas Lancelot's the MVP of this team. Iwaret Fire can nuke some bosses or nuke some bodies. But you need the fire relic, which is currently available for free at the time of this recording in the Charlotte event dungeon, but you have to spend stamina in that dungeon. Then we got Morgan Wind. You got to get lucky and pull Morgan Wind, or you got to pay for it because it's always available for money in the store. You got to get lucky if you can get a selector somehow, which I don't think you can free to play. You're just going to have to get lucky pulling wind relics out of the summons. So the reason why wind is better here is, again, for the defense down, the AoE defense down. That allows you to go behind and Iwaret can just pick them off, right? And then we got Anya Fire. Again, you're going to have to get lucky to get that relic, but there's 2 teams that you can build that can beat stage 10. I will make another video because currently I don't have Vivian, but I do have all the pieces to make this team right here. So this is the team I'm going to be building. If I can get it to work, I will make another video, follow-up video, showing you guys how to down stage 10. So as of now, this video is just going to be titled, How to Beat Podarge's Sanctuary, Stage 1 through 8. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap that up right there. I'm sure there's something I missed. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, put them down in the comments section below. I am no longer part of the CC program. I am, but I'm not doing anything with it. So please give your support to someone else. Susie Plays, Stu Gaming, someone like that. If you have anything to say, put it down in the comment section below. The word of the day, the safe word of the day, is obviously going to be porridge. Not Podarge, but porridge. Because I'm not struggling through saying Podarge. I'm probably not even saying it right. Porridge. She is now Porridge. So put Porridge down in the comment section below. I'll know you made it through 35 minutes of watching this video. Good luck, everybody. Keep in mind, this one's a tough one. There's no easy answers to this dungeon, so don't expect to limp through this with very, very efficient, minimal development. This is current endgame dungeon. So till next time, everybody. Cheers, peace, and bye-bye.